Why was there such a difference between the play before the penalty shot and after? Because you created all sorts of opportunities afterwards.
We did. We certainly did. We had a couple early in the first, around the front of the net. I think Tuch possibly. Tuch hit a crossbar, I think, after they scored their first or second. But we didn't have the energy, I think, that you're speaking of, or the confidence, mojo, swagger, fearlessness, whatever, however you want to describe it. We were hesitant to start. Obviously, we gave up a second goal right after the first one. I felt we were hesitant. I felt we at some point needed to snap out of it. And you referenced the penalty shot goal. I think we were a different team after that, and needed to be a different team before that.
How do you instill confidence in a group? Amid right now, they don't feel good about their game, obviously. So how do you get them in a place where that's not an issue?
Well, you work to bring clarity of and bring a vision, in one sense, one way through videotape, another through just explicit show them situations that what they look like and what they can do better, what they're capable of, which they're capable of more. But clarity. I mean, this is a situation, we've been in lots of situations like this over the past couple of years, from 2 years ago, and you're in these, and you need to bring clarity to them and the vision to them, and obviously through one-on-one, through team, 5 guys playing together, and we will. We're battling a lot of different things right now, but we will.
Coach, was there anything that your team did very well today that you feel like they did well?
Well, again, at some point we had to respond from hesitation and a little bit of fear and play more aggressive, and we did that. We didn't convert from that point, but we needed to we certainly, with the way we started the game, like I said, the start of the game was okay, and then we got scored on, and it wasn't okay for a period. Things changed at that point. That was a good sign.
What made Dylan so effective tonight? I know he didn't score, but he was maybe the best player on the ice.
Another level of determination and directness. He used his feet better. He skated more. He pressured more, and thought less. He's in my assessment, he's overthinking. He's been played very frustrated. You guys know of the frustration he's carried and harbored and pent up. And tonight I thought he used his legs and feet much better. Speed, quickness, jumped on pucks, and it got him to the right place for several quality chances. He just didn't have the finish, but it created a lot.
Do you feel like the whole group is sort of battling that right now? Just worrying about making that mistake? I mean, especially when it comes to early deficits and everything.
Yeah, it's absolutely on our guys' mind. You guys do talk about it and starts and scoring first and everything else, and you walk near that locker room and you hear them talking about it. So it is. You can't run from it. You can't hide from it. Yeah, it's on their mind, and this is part of a process, is dealing with pressure. We had lots of it last year. I mean, how many times we came in here and had to fight through certain things, and it's finding the way to fight through it. And I have confidence that the group will do that. They have done it in the past, and I know they will in this case.
Sorry, Bill, go ahead. Is there an update on Alex?
I just spoke to Alex, and we won't have an update on him, but we'll have updates on him tomorrow, Thompson tomorrow, and Greenway tomorrow. We'll find out how long. Thompson has been progressing great. He's got a scheduled appointment tomorrow that we'll find out more, where he's at specifically, but he's been skating. Hopefully good news there, and Gergensen's as well. We'll find out more tomorrow.
Get a better control of the emotional highs and lows that come with, giving up a goal or translating that into scoring a goal.
I'm sorry, Joe. You said about the highs and lows, and
emotional highs and lows that the team seems to ride with giving up a goal, or
is there a better? I'm sorry, the question.
Better way to get a better control of those emotions.
Well, again, we're gonna do what I mentioned to Lance. Is obviously we're gonna be putting in front of them as much as they can see and feel, whether it's visual, whether it's one-on-one conversation, to to try to see the things you should focus on that would limit worry, limit concern, limit feeling pressure that's, perceived pressure that's affecting actual performance. So yeah, there's things you do, and we will continue to do that as we had it in the past in these situations. It's a new level. We got to a certain plateau. You can't stay there. You're going to slip off if you try to stay there. I think, through the early part of the season, we tried to stay there and hang on to last year a little bit. And you can't hang on to that. You got to find ways to be better, and we're experiencing that right now.
Coach, speaking of emotion, the Cousins mentioned that it's easy to play the Sabres. What's your interpretation on that?
Well, that's a lot of motion. I mean, when you lose games, I think if you look through 32 teams, there's certain nights that every team will say the same thing, or it'll be portrayed the same thing. You got to bring it every night, and we need to bring that more consistently, more compete. And I've said that all along, more consistently. But when you miss it one night, it's an awful feeling. And I think Dylan expressed that.
With the types of saves that Luukkonen made early on, did he basically keep you guys in the game until you found your game?
Yeah, and Saros made a couple early too, so he kept them in the game. But absolutely, the goaltenders were both good early, and I'm not sure Upi saw the first one, but he did, and he kept things tight even through the game. Really, it was a game we were generating chances to tie it, and he had some intermittent saves in there at that time as well.
As it comes to working off that plateau and rising to the pressure, as we've seen you guys play to this identity of being the Rangers, being the Avalanche, we know what the game is capable of. Why do you think it takes being provoked in order to get to that game instead of starting off that way?
That's a great question, Rachel, and I think that those challenges force you to go on that ice and say, we better be ready to play. You play the Avalanche, and the Rangers were the top team in the league, and you have to be ready, and there's just such an urgency to that. That pushes you past. You might get run right out of the building if you're not ready to play. So your focus is dialed into that. And I don't want to say there's lesser opponents. I think the league is hard every night. And there's within 5%, the parity in the league from the salary cap is there. And if you're off, and we've got to learn to bring it every night from the drop of the puck. And again, there's a psychology behind that, which I don't think we've been very good at. And when you're in this situation, it keeps showing you what you need to work on. And for us, it's the getting the psyche in the right place.
Coach, how much of that is buying into the system?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, they're bought in. They talk about it all the time. Getting to our game, the way we want to play, the way it excites them. The way we've played in the past, and the way we played against teams that Rachel's mentioned is motivating and inspiring our guys. You can ask them that.